Plaintiff Rachel LaMontagne dated the defendant, and they took a road trip to a tattoo convention. On the way there, the defendant broke up with her and then had a threesome with 2 other women. She's suing for travel expenses. Defendant Cameron Tomlinson says before they left for the road trip, he and Rachel were already broken up. And the night they got to the convention, she's the one who had sex with one of Cameron's co-workers. He's countersuing for harassment.
Start with you.
Alrighty. So Cameron and I met about 2 years ago. We started dating November 2010, coincidentally after a fight between him and my brother.
You attracted to violent men?
No, but I guess I was. I don't know, our relationship was off and on, like not really stable. It wasn't very good.
He didn't get violent with you, did he?
No, he did not. It was good. I suspected him cheating on me quite a bit, and later found out that he did cheat on me. Okay. And spur of the moment, we decided to go on a road trip one day. We went on a week-long road trip to California.
That's obviously your travel expenses. Before we get to that, let me allow him to give some background.
Okay.
All right, Your Honor, like you said, we met about 2 years ago at a local party through a mutual friend. We talked for a little bit that night and went our separate ways for a while. And after the incident at the club with me and her brothers, we started talking a little while later. We got into a relationship. Like she said, it was like a love-hate, off and on, always fighting. Sometimes good, sometimes fighting, and then split up, then spur of the moment decided to go on a road trip together.
All right, let me get the details regarding the road trip and then why you're suing them for travel expenses.
Alrighty, so we went on a road trip in my car, and
when?
In March
2011.
Yeah,
All
yes. Right. And we first decided to go to California, and then we were going to end the trip in New Mexico at a tattoo convention.
Tattoo convention, you were going to end it?
Yeah, we were going to end the trip there and then drive back to Colorado at our hometown. And we went to his grandparents' house in California. Had a good time. The trip was pretty good. And then we went to Southern California, and we were doing okay, fighting off and on. We were spending a lot of time together. And then he almost left me in LA because we got in a fight. Not good. He wanted to go to New Mexico. He wanted to take a bus there. I wanted to work things out. And so we worked things out, finished the trip out in California. Then on our way to New Mexico, he broke up with me. Later finding out that this New Mexico tattoo convention is just like pretty much a big party and like a hookup scene for all the tattoo artists. And so we get to New Mexico, and he goes his separate way. Like he parties, he hooks up. I hang out, I do my thing, enjoying myself. And
define hookup. What does hookup mean? Have sex with random people?
Yes.
In case you all hear your young folks talking about who hooked up or I hooked up, that's what they did. They had sex with a random person.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I kept getting text messages, like we were fighting in New Mexico and stuff, like we were not getting along. And so he kept telling me, just leave. And even before New Mexico, he told me, yeah, just drop me off in New Mexico. You can go to Colorado by yourself. And so finally one day in New Mexico, he had 2 girls all over him. And I was like I'm done with this. So I left that night. I was like, I'm over this. I went home. Later finding out that he had a threesome that night. Like, how disrespectful can someone be after they had...
That's horrible.
So I went home.
Why people laughing? I don't seem sincere. That is horrible.
Yeah,
so lock him up?
Yeah, lock him up. Okay. Throw away the key. Put him under the jail.
So I went home, and so I'm suing him for half of the trip. I'm not suing him for the whole trip. He told me that he would pay. Though. Yeah, he told me he would pay for half of the trip.
Good enough. Sir, what do you want to tell me about this trip?
Your Honor, like I said,
we were smiling.
Yeah, I see. Yes, sir.
Like I said, we left that day. We drove 14 hours straight. Well, I drove 14 hours straight, and on the way to California in her car, yes. And when I went to sleep, she started looking through my phone. When we left through Colorado, the trip, we were not together. This trip was to fix our relationship. We wanted to see how it would go, not being around all of our friends, not being around all the rumors and everything. So on our way to California, she starts going through my phone and sees a text message from another woman. Right then we started fighting before we even got into California. It We get to my grandparents' house. It goes good for a couple hours, and we start fighting again. Every single day, it was on and off fight. We woke up, we didn't know if it was going to be fighting, if it was going to be happy. We started driving to New Mexico. We were fighting off and on, and then we got into a really big fight. So about 40 miles outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico, which was our destination, we were in a heated argument, yelling, cursing at each other pretty bad. I was driving. She reaches over, grabs the steering wheel, and tries to wrench it. She wrenches it over. There's semis all around us. She tells me to get out the car.
There was no cars on the road. And yeah, I didn't want you driving my car.
Please let him finish.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So she tells me to pull over on the side of the road, that she's going to dump my stuff out and just leave me. So I stated, I'm not getting out this car. And I kept driving. So I kept driving to New Mexico. And once we got to New Mexico, I tried to get my things out. She wouldn't let me. I got my bag. That was it.
You could have gotten your things.
Ma'am, one more time and I'm going to dismiss your case. Go ahead.
I got my bag of clothes out because that's all I could carry, and she made me carry her stuff in too because she had a lot. Once we get to the convention, it was...
You went on the total wow.
Yeah. Once we got to the convention, we got there late in the afternoons at like 9:30 at night. Everybody was already...
the wild part.
The wild part. Okay. All right. We started drinking.
Joel wants to hear that.
All right.
Go ahead.
We started drinking. That night I did not hook up with anybody. I can admit that I hooked up while I was out there. But the first night we were there, she hooks up with an apprentice. So the next day she starts telling me how she starts rubbing it in my face. And then,
really?
Yeah. Rubbing in my face saying, oh, well,
I hooked up with sex with a random man last night?
Oh, it wasn't random. He worked at the tattoo shop that we work at.
Oh, so your co-worker?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So she hooks up with a coworker. The next day is rubbing it all in my face. I'm working the tattoo convention. I'm making sure all the artists and everything have all their supplies. They're getting what they need. She comes around, starts talking behind the booth, saying how last night was so great and how basically that I'm just pathetic. So yeah, I went around. I was talking, drinking later on that night. I hooked up with a couple girls. But the entire...
That's terrible.
He had a threesome that night. After they had...
That's horrible.
So I went home.
Why people laugh? I don't seem sincere. That is horrible.
Yeah, so...
Lock him up?
Yeah, lock him up. Throw away the key. Put him under the jail.
Plaintiff Rachel M. Unchained dated the defendant, and she claims after he broke up with her, he went out and had a threesome with 2 other women.
I'm not like Doyle and most other men, probably 80–90% of the men I've ever met, that, you know, that's their fantasy. Not that they fulfill it or even try to or whatever, but that is 90% of the men I've ever met, that is one of their fantasies. And women, don't you all be special. You have some type of fantasy, who knows what it is. You might like clipping the man's toes. That might be okay. I don't know what your fantasy is. I just told you 90% of the other men, they want this fantasy of more than one woman at the same time. So you had it, all right.
Well, yeah.
And that's terrible. Go ahead.
She pretty much made it clear that she did not want to be with me anymore, so I wanted to go out and have fun. And I did, and I do not feel ashamed about it. And she sent me text messages the entire time saying, you're pathetic, you're a waste of my time, I'm so glad we're over.
Ma'am, did you date his coworker or hook up with his coworker?
After he made it clear, very, very clear on the way to New Mexico, I do not want to be with you.
Oh, okay, so that's the response. Gotcha.
Yes.
All right.
Well, I have text saying...
I hope the next boyfriend doesn't quit you. You're going to go to his friend and hook up the next day. Good enough. Let's get to your travel expenses, sir.
Excuse me?
She says you owe for the travel expenses because you agreed to pay half.
Yes, I did agree to pay half.
Okay.
And then once we got back to Colorado, I was in between jobs. I had just gotten a job and I had rent, I had restitution from previous minor cases. So she would always text me saying, I need money, I need money, I need money. Well, I'm trying to pay my rent and I'm trying to survive, you know, get along and do what I can. I told her that when I had some money to give her. How did you intend
to pay it prior to the trip?
How did I intend to? Because I had a job waiting for me when I got back.
Okay, what happened to the job when you got back?
I got it and I started working.
So why didn't you pay her?
Because I had other bills I had to pay.
But I thought you said you intended to pay her when you got the job. You didn't know you were going to have other bills? You forgot?
No.
You forgot you were going to have other bills?
Once I got comfortable with my money situation, I was going to start paying
That was
back.
your intention?
And it was agreed upon between me and her.
Oh, okay. It was agreed upon. When you get comfortable, you can pay me. Huh?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
So
that's what you want me to believe. Go ahead.
I would keep getting text messages harassing me, saying you need to pay me, and just saying I'm pathetic, saying my family's a waste, that we're never going to be anything, we're white trash. And
you have that?
Do I have it? No, I do not have the old phone.
When was it?
Right after we got back.
When was that?
In March.
Your Honor, I have text messages.
Let's see.
I only printed off his, and I have the bank statement if you would like that.
No, he admits he agreed to pay.
Okay.
What's your harassment claim for?
For always texting me.
Good. That's collections. Judgment for the plaintiff.
How dare you make me look like a whore on TV, dude? How dare you? Dude, you hook up with like 90 chicks and tell the TV that I'm a
You tried hooking up with me.
No, dude. You hook up with how many girls? You cheated on your girl there. He cheated on
I didn't even
how
have
many
a
girls?
girlfriend.
How many girls do you tell them you love them on Facebook? How many? Oh, snap. How many girls are you in love with?
I guess you're pissed that it's just not you
Oh,
anymore.
snap. Who just won? Who just won? I did.